was strange. It was this kind of feeling. It's the end, maybe, and you were worried because I knew that if I'm missing the next GPs, it was still 6 GPs to race. Then I will lose a lot. I will lose this ability to go fast in MotoGP. So I was worried and feeling beginning of the end.
Welcome to Last on the Brakes. We're back with you this week from the Gran Premio Michelin de Aragon, and we're talking to someone I think pretty interesting, which is Johann Zarco, and we're going straight into it with obviously this race last year, a little bit of a tougher time for him. I think it's a good chat.
It is, yeah, really. He really opened up. We asked for about 20 minutes. We got 45 nearly. So absolutely fantastic stuff from Johann Zarco. Not only did he really open up about what he was feeling here last year, a real tough time in his career. Thought it was over, as you heard in the teaser just then. But thankfully it wasn't. Thankfully now you find out that he's actually a very happy man, which is really good to see. And something else interesting that we brought up, we wanted to get to know how Johann really started in racing, because he was a bit of a late bloomer, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. Not to cause too many comparisons just because of his passport, but it did remind me, didn't say this at the time, of Alain Prost, who also started a little bit later in his career after he went karting on a family holiday.
Well,
I thought that was a nice French parallel.
Well, interesting enough, I mean, as you're going to hear, Johann's dad actually did try to take him karting, and Johann saw the motorbike and went, no, I want to do that instead. Amazing story. Wait for it, no problem. And that brings us on to the question of the day, talking to Johann Zarco, a bit of a late bloomer. It's question of the week, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I was going to say, I didn't want to correct you.
Yeah, question of the week. Someone like Johann Zarco, a double Moto2 World Champion, makes us wonder, well, are young riders rushed into the Premier class too much? We bring up names such as like Jack Miller, who of course skipped Moto2. Johann Zarco, a 2-time Moto2 champion. What do you reckon, Fran?
Well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you have the likes of Pedrosa, Lorenzo. They both kind of did the double intermediate class glory before they moved up. And then you had, like you say, Jack Miller skipped the intermediate class entirely. And now, you know, he has won a Premier class Grand Prix and he's on the MotoGP podium pretty often nowadays, heading into a factory seat. But it is an interesting question. It's experience versus youth always. I'm not honestly sure. I think it depends on the individual, but sometimes it does make me a little bit nervous to see the pressure that it brings for some of the younger guys. But then we have seen guys like Fabio also manage that fantastically well. Yeah,
it's really interesting, the too much too soon complex. I call it Justin Bieber syndrome, when someone's too young and they all of a sudden get given the world almost. What can that actually do to their mentality and actually their potential, which is the whole reason why they've been brought there. But in Johann's case, I thought it's hilarious how when Johann came into MotoGP, got the pole positions, podiums, contender for a win, still searching for that win, everyone went, oh, hey, we can get slightly older guys who are about 25 or older again. Yeah, let's start hiring those, no problem. Then Fabio Quartararo comes in a couple of years later, a 19, 20-year-old. And now everyone's like, young guys. And I can't wait to see who's the next. I mean, it feels so, I'm 26. It feels weird to say old guys who are my age being brought into MotoGP, and I know you're a little bit older.
And then you have my age bracket of the veterans.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it is a strange one, and especially as well when you had the kind of situation recently where it's been Marquez winning the title. A lot of the rush at times has seemed to be factories trying to find the next Marquez,
or the Marquez
unquote.
beater. Right?
But then the guy who's been pushing him hardest, certainly over the course of a season, has been veteran Andrea Dovizioso.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. But I think Johann's a good person to weigh in on that a little bit. Like I said, he's the only person so far to have taken a back-to-back Moto2 crowns. Because Rabat did remain in the class, but he didn't quite do it. Obviously, Johann is the guy who stopped him.
He's also the only rider to stay well past his welcome on the podcast. He was welcome for as long as he stayed, but only lasted 20 minutes, and he said he enjoyed telling stories for about 45 minutes. So I guess without further ado, take it away, us chatting to Johann for 45 minutes. Hey, Johann Zarco, welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show. He started very Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, the first thing I wanted to ask you about, when we were here last year, you arrived in your motorhome looking for a ride. True. Now, I left the circuit, I think it was on Thursday, and you went for a bike ride. And as you leave the circuit, there's this beautiful road out of the track, and it overlooks this amazing landscape. And you were riding out there. Do you remember that bicycle ride?
Yeah, now you are telling me, I remember, but I think I was not on the track. I went
Outside
of the track, and I did 50 Ks just to, because I was a strange moment where just 2 days before, KTM told me don't come anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, but I will come. I need to pick up my stuff.
You need to look for a job.
And leave the apartment. It's like leaving a girlfriend. You need.
I was
to
gonna say it's like
a
breakup. No, you can't just leave all your stuff in the house.
So then coming, getting up to my room, my office, and I had to go somewhere to cycling a little bit and
clear your head.
Clear the head.
Because that's the thing. It looked like it was almost like something out of a film. The sun was setting. It was almost getting dark. You're out there with this amazing view, and you're driven here to search for a job, to continue your career and stuff like that. What was that moment like for you? Was it as sort of like a movie scene?
We've really started with the happy stuff, haven't we?
I just want to ask, because it really stick. I thought about that moment since then, because it was just such an amazing sort of thing to see. What was that moment like for you here?
It was strange. It was this kind of feeling. It's the end, maybe, and you are worried because I knew that if I'm missing the next GPs, it was still 6 GPs to race. Then I will lose a lot. I will lose this ability to go fast in MotoGP. So I was worried and feeling beginning of the end. But quite not too long after, even during the race weekend, the voice about Honda that Nakagami need a surgery to the shoulder was coming up, and so then it can be interesting if you are free to try the Honda. So some hope were there, but clearly the beginning was maybe it feels the end. And you feel strange.
I remember as well, Valentino, and you both talking about something similar in a press conference. I think his was about Ducati and how when you just don't feel like things are working and you have to make that decision of like, okay, I actually don't enjoy doing this now, and I'm not coming to the track going like, yeah, I'm a MotoGP rider. It's just constantly trying to get through it. How do you bounce back from that and then suddenly switch when you have this new opportunity, but it's a completely different bike, so it'll be another difficult thing to adapt to? Is it just, yes, let's go? Or what about the self-belief to think, no, I can do this, let's go again and reset?
I could not really believe I'm over right now. That's why I decided to quit. And then when I need few answers for myself. Clearly during the 2019 season, some doubt came on me, and I cannot always be selfish and sure about me, telling I know everything and the fault is only on the bike. So I was also wondering myself, but to have clear answer, some competitive bike, be sure the bike is working. For me, it was a way to clear my mind also about these doubts. And so I was hoping to catch a bike where I can sit on and think, I know the bike can do well, so now do yourself. That on the KTM, because it was a full development and a big work that maybe I was not ready to do. I could not really think in that way. And even when I was trying to clear the mind, say, okay, the man can do much more than the bike, I was crashing. So that's why then you are a bit lost.
I can imagine. And then on the Honda, of course, now this season, it's a little bit different, I think. There's a lot of debate in the paddock about man, machine, with Marc obviously having been injured so much. But last season as well, there was a lot of pressure for you then taking that bike. But you must have felt quite proud of immediately really making progress and showing like, actually, you know, I can do this, and I'm going to show you what I've got.
Clearly, and that's overall in Malaysia, because when I started in Australia, was so 3 races break, staying at home, cycling, running, doing stuff. But then coming to Australia, see the bike, and was not so easy. But then the guys could really give me some advices that because I'm still a good rider, I was able to do, and then see quickly the improvement. And this immediately gave me a great feeling. And even from them, they were happy to see with just few information, I can do it. But then Malaysia was the best weekend on the Honda, and fighting in 8th position, but then crashing, but not because of me. Yeah, that's almost clean everything. Say, okay, he's there, he can do it, and just for me also. So it helped me a lot also then to have Ducati contract, because when Ducati saw that things, they were thinking, okay, now he's really a rider we can take. So it helped me a lot.
Talking to you, I mean, one of the reasons why we wanted to speak to you, we wanted to talk to you in all the way back at the start of the season, but obviously you weren't in Qatar with MotoGP. You're one of the most fascinating characters we have in MotoGP. Your career up to now is just such a unique story, double Moto2 champion, and you've now ridden, apart from the Aprilia, every MotoGP bike, right? Every manufacturer.
I think that's more than anyone now.
Yeah.
True.
So I want to, we want to go back in a moment to how your career started, how you first rode bikes. But first I wanted to ask you, did you ever expect your MotoGP career to go in this direction? Did you ever have any expectations?
You cannot really expect, the only thing you can hope and dream is a world title in MotoGP. Clearly, I got 2 in Moto2. I did fight in the 125cc category also for the title. So every category fight for a title. This is the main dream. Then when you almost catch it in 125, you do it in Moto2. You catch it twice, and you try in MotoGP. And as long I believe I can do it in MotoGP, I'm pushing myself, but clearly difficult to expect, to imagine the way to go. I think I've been kind of particular because I was really close to my ex-coach or manager. We worked a lot together, and we did also a really special way compared to some other riders. That already these things made me a bit special, we will say. But then when I grew up a bit more, I had to split also with this guy, and from that I show from myself another side of myself, and that's why we can really, I guess the people are seeing these different faces from me, but the main target remain there, and that's why they like, because having this life adventure that you can have it in MotoGP, but this is life adventure. It's not only the sport. Doesn't help you to be strong in your sport, but you're always there fighting for it. And I think this brings the pleasure for the people to see, we like him because it's not easy for him. It's, I think, easy for no one. But maybe I got few moments where we can say, it's done, it's over. No, it's not over as long as I can believe it.
People always love this, don't they? Like in a Hollywood film, you always have like the comeback story. And when you
that's
see
why
people
now there is also a movie now coming out. A French guy did it, really on all this, from all this life. And now we could, now is now coming the movie, because with the Ducati is working well, so a new breath, and
a
we
movie
continue.
about you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I
didn't know
should
about
bring
this.
it there, the DVD, and
Yeah.
But I will give you one, and
That's good. So you are. It's not just like a Hollywood movie. Now it's a French full movie about you.
Clearly, it's not the same movie than Hitting the Apex. It was showing how is MotoGP world with all the action. For me, it's more what is Zarco's stories. So almost you need to appreciate Zarco to watch the movie, but you can learn quite a lot of things. So yeah, a guy already did it. We work 3.5 years to do it.
Oh
this
my
movie.
goodness.
So I would say it's we already have a little bit of this story in the movie now.
Okay, cool. Well, we look forward to that.
Christmas time, eh?
But I think, because what's interesting about you as well is that in a lot of motorsport now, here with Jack Miller moving from Moto3 MotoGP, Fabio suddenly going from one Moto2 win to where he is now, and then in Formula One with Max Verstappen being so young when he got the seat, there seems to be a massive rush sometimes to get people just into the car or on the bike as soon as possible. You're kind of exactly the opposite. And you've done the kind of old school, like you almost won the 125 title, Moto2, defended it, which no one had done since Lorenzo. No one's done it in Moto2 other than you. Do you think that's helped you? And what do you think of that culture to rush? Because now we see your podiums this season already. We see someone like Andrea Dovizioso. He's an older rider than a lot of the hype guys, but he's fighting for the title every year. Do you think there are two sides to it?
I think to have a strong experience help anyway, not in every point, because what is easier to catch young guys, it's when you give them advices. If they are open enough to listen them and apply them, then they are getting very strong. Typically the example with Fabio, with Jack Miller, it has been a little bit different because he did not start with a very strong bike and have been struggling a lot. But we are thinking anyway, he will get all the experience in MotoGP. So sooner or later he will be strong, and he is now strong. So for my way, it has been different, and I think it helped me to be an adult, to perform. And but when you are an adult, sometimes you think a bit too much, and that is not helping at 300 km per hour. It's good to be clever, because if you don't have a brain, it's better don't race, because then
That's an amazing quote.
But if you have the brain and thinking a bit too much, you are slowing down too.
Yeah.
But because I want it, I think I'm able to do both. And like he's doing Dovizioso, and he's pretty strong. But when people are telling, he's missing something to Dovizioso, he's maybe missing this crazy things sometimes that we can naturally find from the young guy. That's why a team, someone prefer bet on a young one, because if he's doing few mistakes, he has time to recover them. If a guy from 30 years old is doing few mistakes, maybe he will think twice then before repeat it or don't do it. But with the experience, I think this can make me stronger the day I will be ready to fight for the title.
I feel like you can't be too cautious, because even just in the last race, in the last few laps of that race, you were like ridiculously quick in those difficult conditions. So maybe that balance is coming there, and we can see it
I feel it, and that's why I'm pretty happy now, because clearly with the life adventure I described before, I think I've lost a bit of the rider skill, the mindset you need to be a champion or to be a very fast racer. But now that Ducati gave me the stability and feeling is coming on the bike, I see that all this life adventure is not over, but is done. I swallow it pretty well, and now I'm really back as a sportsman. And race by race, I feel that I'm getting closer. So yes, the race as Le Mans is a nice example to things are coming, and wow, this for me is the main point which bring me happiness. So that's why I believe all these details will be all together. I think I can be pretty strong with the Ducati, we will see when Marc is coming back that will he destroy all of us or will how gonna be? But the target is to fight for this title with Marc or without.
Before we move on, I want to ask you then, what do you think about that? Because we talk about this when we have dinner, we have some beers, we talk about when Marc is going to come back. What world is he going to come back to? Is everyone going to have come up to his level and he's going to come back and go, whoa, what have you guys done since I've been away? Or what do you think as a rider?
It will be fast and pretty strong and fighting for victories, clearly. But what he showed in Jerez, that in Jerez he was, it was another category when he almost crashed in turn 4, then coming back on the track and catching every guy's we are amateur and he's a professional rider. I think we will see a little bit less of this because he will have, even if he's a genius, I think he will need a little bit of time to be sure about what he can do and to catch back these feelings he had. And because it's a feeling that he was like flying, now he will need a little bit of time to fly again and feel the bike. Because he's a genius, he will get it very quick. But this lesson we have seen from him, I think, move a bit everyone to say, hey, we are racer, we cannot get punished like we have been punished in Jerez. And because Fabio was winning, we say, no, okay, Fabio won't do like Marc. So I think everyone has been pushing more than what we could expect. So yes, I would say all the level is getting up.
Awesome.
So Marc can be a bit surprised that, wow, it's kind of many guys pretty fast. And we'll have to fight. So I hope we brings up the level and he will struggle a bit more because from Jerez race we have seen we were too slow. So now we move up.
Well, you say that, but then in the end he was a little bit too fast. And I think it's an interesting one, like we said, about age and experience and risk and caution as well, to see how that plays out. Because obviously it was a little bit too much risk that day. And then he's had injury troubles before, but this is the first time in MotoGP where he's really had to sit out. Maybe the you and the Dovi way of thinking will start to win out a little bit more.
About the age and Marc, the way has been pretty strong that like every rider, we are always a bit scared to crash. And because if we are sliding, sometimes we catch it back, but many times we crash. Marc was catching up many crashes when he's sliding. So the crash was not, he was not scared anymore about the crash. The falling down, it's part of the riding style for him. So that's why he could try even more than the others, because it's inside him, he will catch it back. Not all the time, but mostly every time. So I think this helped him to really rise up the level and be much stronger than all the others. Till this moment, he got the bad one. So he will think, maybe not twice, but he will staying long time and get this big injury. Clearly this maybe will not stop him at all, but make him think a little bit more, or maybe get a little bit more hesitation, as we all have.
yeah. Self-preservation.
And but now what he is living must be very difficult for him, because he is always giving more than 100%, and now he's every day at the gym, have re-education of the arm, of all the body. So when he will come, he will be physically, he's already seems stronger than the other, but now he will be even more. So it can be very dangerous for this reason. And we have to see. Just about skills, I think everyone rise up the level, so he will have less advantage. But from the hanger, this will be he will have, I think, a good accumulation of the anger.
So, well, no, that's really interesting perspective. Thank you for that. I wanted to, so let's switch back to talking about you and your background in bikes and everything, because with being so experienced, double world champion, ridden nearly every MotoGP bike, it might actually get lost when people think about you, about where you started. So can you tell us about your first experiences with motorcycles, where the passion came from, your upbringing with motorcycle racing? Talk to us about that.
The really first experience, I was 9, close to my home, really 3 minutes by car. It was a go-kart track, and my daddy wanted that I try some go-kart just for fun. Mm-hmm. And when I came to this track, I saw a motorbike just to have also 10 minutes of motorbike, but it was some dirt. And I said, no, I just want to try the motorbike. I don't want to try the go-kart. But okay, anyway, you are. And when I was trying, then the boss of the track, that he was there with also at the bar, he was like the main one from the circuit.
Band at the place.
He said, yeah, we can see that your son is doing some motorbike. He's pretty good at it. But my daddy said, oh, it's first time. I wanted us go-kart, but he wants the motorbike. Oh, that's great. So I asked to come again a few times. And then he said, try to go to the next city. There is a moto club, a club with the young guys, that at least he can enjoy with young guys. So it really started in that moment, in 99, 2000. And there I've been racing a little bit, but my daddy didn't know anything about motorbike, and we were not doing nothing, some races, but always like not pretty good experience. And then we met this guy, this ex-coach and manager, that this guy knew about motorbike, and we could listen him and do with him. And from that moment, I would say, so I was already 13, so almost
it's a little bit later than a few.
Much
guys,
later than all the others. That's why I'm champion at 25 and not at 18. But clearly, it's almost this gap. And I would say around 13, 14 years old, when I met this coach, the real passion about motorbike came. Before, I wanted it, I like it, but also the passion about the story and all the riders, what they did with which bike, came around 14, listening this coach. So I would say I got a first motorbike experience, and then the real passion for racing around 14.
Okay, that's interesting. So it was definitely you on the bike before you watched TV and saw racing and really thought,
it was funny because like I was totally in my world. You are 9 or 10 years old. So I was racing with the small bike, or doing with the other small riders at the city next to my home. But my parents were never watching motorbikes or Formula One. They're not from this realm. My daddy loves rugby. That's all. So, and I remember once to see. So it was 2000 to see the Valentino Rossi's bike, and it was a race. I don't know where, but I see this image of the yellow bike from Valentino when he was with the NSR 500 Honda. And I said, oh, they are doing like me. It was not me I'm doing like them. But
I love it.
Oh, they are doing like me. So really, you are 10 years old, and when you are a baby, or you are the main one. That's what they were doing.
You're the center of your own world, aren't you then?
And I really remember. So I think it was 2000 when I started to race with the other guys. But I was just doing this on the parking. And never watching at home, because it's not coming from my parents, the motorbike. It's really me. I've been asking for it.
Oh, cool.
That's such a great story.
So from there then, now you're a very professional rider, one of the elite in the entire world. How did you get here then? You're Rookies Cup champion in the first year of it.
2007.
So quite a while ago now. But that gap then, how do you go from your car park to the Rookies? And then from there, we can see a little bit more. But how did you kind of make it into professional world of racing?
And then it's a long story. And maybe in Italy and in Spain, they are able to find some championship to then find riders and then help them to bring them to the as a professional rider. In France, we still have problems to find a real way or a real school or a way to explain how to do it or a way to do.
And for the listeners, remember Fabio won the Spanish championship as it was at the time.
Yeah.
When I met this guy when I was 14, he said in France they don't know anything, so we have to race in Italy. So we went to Italy to race in mini moto in pocket bike. That's why I say we are missing this base in France to build it up. That I hope I can not create it, but find a way, because with my experience we can understand that it's possible to do it even if you don't have everything ready, and even if you don't have all the way ready for it. Like,
and even if your parents when you're 3 aren't like, get on the bike, get on the bike,
because they are the story like the Marquez brother. Clearly I think the father was with a big passion. And because they were in Spain, they were also hearing that the children can race. Marc was really many gifts for the motorbike, so they have been pushing. Then Emilio Alzamora find really good skills in Marc. They did it, and then Alex is almost following. So doesn't mean it has been easy for Alex, but we can understand that if he is doing well in the races, then the way is already made because it's kind of clear. And then he has other problem with all the pressure, but that's another speech.
That's the downside to that, isn't it?
But we need to create. So I cannot really explain how, because I've lived a lot of things, even after the Rookies Cup. My daddy, because he's not from this sport, for him to be a professional rider means you can get paid already. Doesn't mean you are paid millions, but you get a salary at least. And no, in the beginning in 125 you had to pay the teams to race. And for him it was no way to pay teams for racing. Okay, you pay at the beginning because it's your passion, but then if you're a professional, you cannot sell your house for racing. For him it was crazy. He doesn't have enough passion for motorbike to make it real. He say, no, for me, I will not sell my house to do it. So that's why for my coach, for him, this was normal. But then I was living with my coach. We found some sponsors and we pushed a lot to find the budget. And so already I was 17. So it's not like 14 or 15. You're already growing up. You understand the things and you see that it's clearly not easy at all. But you want to do it, and you have a coach that is more crazy than you and with full passion. So you follow him, and we do it together. And but I can also understand the way of thinking from my father that you can pay, but if then you are professional, you must find a way to don't sell your house. You are professional. So I think this maybe grew up in the time. They are. I don't know now really how it's working in Moto3, but we can see that maybe all the riders from the VR 46, they are not paying to race. They are getting a little bit of thing to live at home. So they are professional, real professional. So all this way helped me to learn things. And when I won the Red Bull Rookies Cup, it was not like now that if you win, maybe you can go straight to Akia, your team, that it's professional and it's almost done. No, it was the first year, so didn't really know what to do next. So I was not believing in their project after the Rookies Cup, so I quit also in that time.
Wow.
Really the story with...
I was going to say, looking at your record, there's a gap there. Before you then turn
I
it back
did in 2008, the beginning of 2008, almost the same that I did in August 2019. So it's kind of my character also, this thing. And so then I've been working in Hungary, doing some exhaust system, like working in Hungary,
like a
doing
normal
exhaust
job.
normal
job.
And so I did things to catch the professional and then to be where I am now. It will be too long to explain, but clearly I hope at least in France we can explain a bit the way. Clearly not easy. Clearly you have to spend money because it's not football or swimming. It's a mechanic sport, so it's normal that it costs money. But then because it costs money, you can find some sponsor around already at the beginning to help people coming up as they are doing in Italy and in Spain. That's the best example.
Is that the reason then, kind of almost like one of the reasons behind doing this film, to show people this is what it takes and to make it make it seem more of a reality to the French people, to say if you want to be a rider like me, here's what you have to do. Is that part of the reason for doing that, or?
No, I think the movie doesn't explain it in this way. Like maybe a little bit. Difficult to say. They will understand I'm kind of a special case, and but from this special case, maybe it can give motivation to create something. Because now, if you just watch the movie and you think I want to do the same, you have to leave the family, go away from home, go to live with another family that they are ready to sacrifice everything from the life to make a young guy catching the dreams, because it's also the dream of the coach. So then you're doing this to win. You are doing this also to get money, because then there is a moment where you have to eat. So because you are a winner, then you can get money, and then maybe the life is more cool. But then all these things is not working all in that way. So long story. Then it's not only a podcast that we can do.
Maybe a second episode in the future.
Winning, let's talk about that. You'd not won a Moto2 race before you won the World Championship, right? That was the first year when you did it. So you had a couple of years with some podiums. I think you had 1 year where you were 10th-ish, I think, overall. Then you got some podiums. And then you moved into Aki's team, which obviously Aki's had such incredible success in the paddock. You must have felt some pressure, but then straight away you're winning, you're like fighting for that championship. How did that feel different then? Because like we said, you were like 24, 25 when you moved into there. Were you like, okay, this is it now?
When you begin to win, firstly you are so happy, but because you accumulate, not frustration, but this scare that when you feel good, then you can lose it quickly. You are careful. Even when you win, you say, no, stay focused to the next one, because you want to win again, because maybe you can lose it in a moment. So when it happens, because to catch it was long, then you don't lose the focus. That's maybe the advantage, that I could catch the title. And also when I've been winning with Aki, then it was like confirming that all what I was believing, I was right to believe in it, because my feeling was not far from very good things, but was not coming. And when it's coming, okay, so catch it, keep it, not catch it, keep it, and then it should work well. Plus the team that is also always working on all these details to be champion and win races. So for me, it's only with Aki that I got this, because I got it in 125cc. I got a victory in 125, fighting for a title. It has been with him. And then when I moved to Moto2 with him, I don't know if it's his character, his way to be, the way to also control all the mechanics and the technician. You feel the team is made for it. It's they are really yes. And if you maybe feel a bit too much enthusiastic, he is there to bring you back to the heart. Yes.
finish
And
discipline.
when you are
isn't it?
young, it helps a lot. So I won, but then the story with Tech 3, when I moved up to MotoGP, I really lived great moments. Even if I didn't get victories, but I got races like victories. And but the difference with Aki, I was with a full French team, so I was scared that maybe because it's our country, our language, we will have too much fun and not enough good work. And we had both. And really from 2017, I really start to enjoy even more my race weekend, to move to another circuit, because I knew I will have fun, plus I will have good work. And this, when you have this combination, like we can see from Marc,
It creates magic.
Yeah. But you cannot do it when you are 18, 19, 20. It's because you have to grow up also. I was already 26, 27, 2 world titles. So then you open to, you step by step open yourself to the world. Plus you are ready to work well. And when you have this combination, then life is nice.
I feel we've almost come full circle, almost to the start, where we get to a point. You're talking about you were happy then, and you're happy now. I really think that's the main thing to come from this. It's nice to hear that you're happy now in your racing.
And it's
everything.
exciting to see the move to Pramac as well, and you getting on the Ducati, because just love the battles.
Yeah, exactly. So before we let you go, because we're running out of time, we have a small quickfire questions segment. So it's called the Kenwood Quickfire. Thank you to Kenwood for sponsoring this segment, as always. So the Kenwood Quickfire always starts with a very simple question, which is, what do you prefer, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Good choice. Even as a Brit, I'm like coffee all day. What's the best place you've ever been?
Holiday or race circuit.
Yeah, you can choose anywhere in the world.
But about racing, but
or outside.
There's always Phillip Island, particular moment there. But then out of racing, I did Maldives last year.
Oh yeah.
And clearly it's not bad.
What is your best race so far in your career?
I will choose, when it's a victory, it's kind of your best race. So some victories, the second world title also, I won the race plus the title. And here I remember all the thoughts I got during the weekend. And then this result I got in the race, I started the race with the pressure to win the championship. I got a gap of points with the guy, so it was kind of easier for me. But I really start with, for Rins and for Luthi, I say if they are winning, if they win, I will be happy for them. So but sincerely, this was in my mind. But at the end, I won. So better for me. But I didn't don't think about the pressure. I say, be happy in any way because they deserve it. So be happy for them. Okay, I've been lucky that it was me. So this just for the way I've been thinking, and the way, not only thinking, but feeling deep inside me, this race is a really strong remember.
Nice.
Okay, cool. What about 3 people, living or dead, that you would invite to a dinner party or to dinner?
First, he's not dead yet. It's McCartney, Paul McCartney.
Good choice.
To share a moment with him, and overall with my brother, that is a huge fan of him. And I would love, maybe with my little notoriety, meet him once, maybe have an event with him and playing guitar, and then okay, let's go for dinner. And my brother is there, and then we spend so with Paul McCartney, this will be just amazing, but it's only one. So maybe if I say,
well, the other one is your brother.
Yeah, the brother, but I'm meeting with him every night. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
No, then can be a sportman. really as a person, even if we are fighting, and then there is the Valentino for the race weekend, and I think there is the Valentino in the life.
Yeah.
I think we can have a nice also dinner together, speaking about different stuff. I think he's anyway an interesting guy, and
This is an exciting party so far. Paul McCartney, Valentino Rossi, you. He's going to be the third one.
I think now I cannot be together because with all the things I can speak with Paul McCartney, then Valentino will say, I go to the ranch, I'm getting boring. So, but let's say maybe just with Paul McCartney is
that's really nice. That's the
best.
coolest answer we've had so far about that. Okay, right, this is a specific one for you.
Oh, then Ringo. It's already a second one
Ringo.
from the Beatles.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So you can only listen to one genre of music for the rest of your life. Rock, classical, whatever. Which genre do you choose? Genre, type of music. Classical,
genre,
rock,
okay.
whatever.
Choose one music for all the rest of my life. Wow, tough one.
It's hard.
When you listen a lot of song in the car. The one is coming in my mind is "Song for a Man" from Elton John. That is not singing a lot, but it's just a long time with the piano. Or now another one. Maybe I would choose this one. Paul Simon and Garfunkel.
Hmm?
Cool.
Bridge over troubled water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Classic.
that's maybe
So that kind
the
of
pure
pop
one I could
piano.
listen for all my life.
Brilliant. So,
What about the most inspirational person that you've met or that you think is an inspiration for you?
I did not meet him, and that's one. This now is coming to my mind. That, yeah, Paul McCartney and Zinedine Zidane.
I
Okay.
had Zidane at the back
Yeah.
of my mind with the French
Clearly, I
connection.
think he's the one. Overall, for what I'm living now, that I'm 30 years old, thinking I'm getting old or not, and he said during interviews that 30 years old was his best age for him because he was strong physically, plus he had the experience. So I want to use
all of
these words, all of that for my racing
That's awesome.
experience. So yeah, he's the one that always, even when he answered to the interview, it's clear what he say. It's simple, but it works.
Okay, so final question then. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
During my second world title this season, where I've been one moment a bit struggling because of pressure and losing many points. I got some advantage during the season in the championship, then I lost this advantage. And my daddy told me, I think you have your feelings are right. Your instinct is right. So if you are wondering a bit too much, follow this instinct that you did it when you were young, when you left the home just to do motorbike. And you did well. Look, you already world champion once. So doing this second title, he told me it. Just if you don't know, follow your instinct, what you feel. And I think from this, then I really enjoy also the next races, and I've been world champion again. So yeah, if I have to say one advice, when he told me, trust your feelings, they are good. You are not wrong.
and from your dad as well. That's really great. Well, thank you very much, Kenwood Quickfire.
Yes, thank you so much for joining
okay.
us.
Yeah, no, Johann, that's been really insightful.
I
Appreciate your time.
expect 5-minute podcast, but I enjoy to answer.
Oh, good. Well, no,
Sorry.
that's the main thing then. You enjoyed it. There you go. Mark the day. Well, thank you very much. Good
No,
luck this
thank
weekend.
you.
See you.
So, hope you enjoyed that one. Next week, we'll be back with more. Not going to spoil with who yet. But yeah, I think we always do your things to search out on the internet. My pick from Zarco is quite a niche one. And it's Malaysia 2016 qualifying when he took pole by 2.134 seconds, I think the gap was, tricky conditions drying out, and he absolutely blitzed it. I think blitzed it. I think that's one of the most impressive displays we've seen from him, obviously, as well as his Premier class podiums, and of course the film.
Yeah, the film. I mean, I got to admit, I didn't know about that. I didn't know that was coming out.
I think I'd heard some little rumours, but yeah, it sounds like it's going to be good, hey?
Yeah, I watched the teaser actually before coming to record this intro and outro segment. Now, spoiler alert, we did it at a different time, so sue us. But the actual teaser was really interesting. I can't wait to see that, and I thoroughly recommend you keep an eye on when that's coming out. But next week, well, as in our next episode. We're not going to tell you but we're recording here in a couple of days' time at the Teruel Grand Prix. This comes out this Monday, so yes, we're recording in a couple of days' time. It's a huge star. Not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to jinx it. Because no, our lucky won't come.
Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? And hopefully we'll bring you more Premier Class Superstar chat coming up next week. But thanks for joining us as ever. Let us know what you think with the hashtag MotoGP podcast. Please be kind, and we'll see you again soon.